This is Energy in Industry.
Today, and I just want to let everybody know today's session again is on energy management, and our presenter is Bill Gerald, who is the Chief Energy Engineer for Calportland. And Bill's been with the company 22, almost 23 years. He has a bachelor's degree in nuclear engineering from the University of Arizona. And I'll turn it over to Bill. As a reminder, please mute all your phones and microphones and make sure that your video is not streaming. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please use the chat window and we'll monitor that. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Thank you for that introduction and the company report. Appreciate it. And yeah, it's been 22, 23 years plus 4 years of internship. So it's more like, for me personally, almost 27 years with Calportland. It's been a long run. It's great. So yes, I'm the Chief Energy Engineer. I'm the Energy Manager for Calportland. And what we're going to talk about today is I've given various presentations on the energy and energy management, and what we're going to talk about today is kind of more specific, and as the title suggests, it's the Energy Star Guidelines for Energy Management. Right here I have the actual document. It's a document created that we follow to help us create and run our energy management program. And these slides, these were also created. This was the same presentation that I was going to be giving at our IEEE conference that was supposed to be in April, and sharing with other companies on how we run our energy management program. So typically I give a much longer introduction to Calportland, but we know who we are. We're a company that's producing cement and concrete and mining aggregates, but we're using energy. The definition of energy: power derived from the utilization of physical or chemical resources, especially to provide light and heat to work machines. That's what we do. We operate machines. Some of the forms that we use, right on that picture right there on that slide, what you're looking at is the actually entrance of the coal. That's the coal burner pipe right there. And coal and natural gas are fuels. We do use some alternative fuels when we can. Wood chips. We use petroleum coke at some of the plants that can use it. And we've burned rubber tire before. The old Colton plant had burned rubber tires, and Rita plant can burn rubber tire chips. Obviously, a lot of electricity. Electricity is used to operate our equipment, a lot of rotating equipment, and lighting, standard lighting and things like that. But a lot of electricity used in our operations, and of course, fuels, the fleet fuels for our fleet. Gasoline, diesel, and recently compressed natural gas for our ready-mix trucks in Los Angeles, California. So why do we have an energy program and why we monitor it, right? As a business, we need to control our cost, and you want to be able to track that. And as the industrial age developed and energy became something that was actually, we were exchanging currency for energy, industry in itself started to consume this power and may have made a mistake, and many still do. They look at that as a fixed cost, a cost that's just the cost of doing business. And at Calportland, we've recognized that this is actually a variable cost. This is something that we can actually control. And if we minimize our energy consumption, we will minimize energy cost, and that obviously helps the overall health of the company. Alongside with this is what coexists very well is sustainability. We are going to be minimizing emissions by minimizing our energy consumption and energy usage. So these all coexist very well, and it's generally just the right thing to do, not on a cost side of things, but on an environmental and a sustainability aspect. So when I was hired promoted to the energy manager in 2007, it was kind of a daunting, look, because where do I start? Now, we had already had an energy program, but me personally, what do we do? What is our steps? And luckily, at that point, we were already an Energy Star partner. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have seen our Energy Star partnership, our awards we have achieved, and our different, logo presentations and sharing. But that partnership has created a conduit to learning so that I could learn myself personally and our company could learn how to become energy managers and how to become a better energy manager in our company. And specifically, back to my document right here, the Energy Star Guidelines for Energy Management. It is a document created by the Energy Star program and with the partners. The partners of all these companies are together creating these documents. And I've got the link on there for those who would actually want to go and check it out. It's a PDF that you can download and go through. But what we're going to do is the next slides, we're going to follow through on how these guidelines are used to create your program and to establish it and to maintain it. Once again, here's, this is just the front page and the link to the guidelines for energy management. And what's critical for us is this partnership that we've created, Calportland and Energy Star. We work together with them, and it helps keep us focused, tuned up, using the best practices from the Energy Star program and help maintain our energy management program. And here they are. There are 7 steps that are identified in the guidelines for energy management. The graphic on this slide is showing the process itself. I'm just going to step through and make a statement on each one, and then as the slides go through, we're going to kind of roll right through each of these. Make a commitment. That's the first step we want to do. We got to make a commitment to energy management and how we want to improve our performance. Assess your performance. Look at ourselves. Look inwardly and figure out where are we at today. And part of that would be data, metrics, figuring out how are we performing as far as energy-wise. Assessing that performance, and then when you're done assessing it, you're going to set some goals. Once your goals are set, you've identified some goals, you create an action plan. How are we going to get there to these goals? What are we going to do? Implement the action plan, evaluate the progress, recognize achievements, and then come back and do it again. And so this is a continual process that we follow for our energy management, something we do every year and have a focus on this style. Within the guidelines itself, the document, Energy Star has helped by creating this matrix. It's a spreadsheet, but you basically print it out, look at it, and you mark off how you are doing. They help you kind of go through those 7 steps and put it in a table form and identify where you're lacking and where you need to pick up and make sure that you're on the right path. They have a very similar matrix for a facility level. We're talking about the corporate structure level, but then at the facility level, we want the plants and the organization to have this internal path towards energy management. So that first step is make a commitment. That's step 1. Here it is. And to make a commitment is, okay, have an energy director, have an energy team. Very important is with the energy policy there, we have a Calportland energy policy. I'm going to move on to the policy and just to identify it. We have a documented energy policy signed by Alan Hamlin, and this identifies how Calportland and the energy management program that we identify it as an important part of our program. It's kind of cut off at the bottom of the screen, but you can see right there the 7-step process is right there in the policy, and it's important to note that Calportland has a policy that's directed at energy management and making sure that we focus on energy management to achieve our goals. Go back up and look at, so we got our director, me, Bill Gerald, that's me, energy manager. I'm the chief energy engineer. I'm the guy that's supposed to be setting the goals, tracking the progress, promoting our energy management. Energy team. We have an energy team. It's in flux right now. People have moved positions, and I'm looking for new members. Here's my email address, contact me, email me if you want to be part of the team. We're going to be, we have regular meetings for the cement plants. We're going to be having regular meetings for a general purpose. We've had them in the past. We're going to start that up, probably do it more of a webinar style to share what's going on. I'm going to be doing a treasure hunt broadcast here in a couple weeks, and I'll be sending out information on that. And once again, Energy Star has a lot of good documents for me and for the program and for other programs. Remember, this presentation was also going to be broadcast to other companies to show them how they could start their own energy program and try to catch up to where we're at. And this booklet has how to build teams and create that energy management team that we're looking for. All right, so the step 2 part of that process was assessing performance, evaluating ourselves, evaluating our energy use, look at our facilities, and take a hard look at ourselves and how we are using energy. When I started in 2007, it was kind of a bleak Mars landscape on data. The cement plants had a lot of data. They're very big energy consumers, but the energy data that was somebody put me on hold. So thank you. So assessing the performance and assessing where we're at is very important. There we go. And what you got to do is you got to track data, gather the data. Whoops.
Bill, I don't know if you can hear me, but we lost audio.
Oh,
there we go. It's back.
Somebody, I think when whoever was muting the hold, it muted me as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Now okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. Thank you. What I was saying was, obviously, we need to assess ourselves. We have to have this data tracking system, and in the guidelines, it has a very specific comment there that I really enjoy. Is tracking system must be easy to use, update, and maintain. When we first started this, we really had nothing but a spreadsheet. There's a lot of challenges on how you build a tracking system, and we just had to, get started. And so we built the spreadsheet, and it was a bear to maintain, hard to keep data going into it. It required a lot of hands in it, people across the company entering data, and it was something we were using, but it was hard to maintain and keep working. Energy Star also has tools themselves, and we're going to go through them and show them to you that we use as an energy management program to help us with keeping track of that data. Here's the old spreadsheet. I wanted to show a picture of an ugly spreadsheet, and that's what we were using. We have evolved to ProKarma. I think most have probably heard of this. If not, what it is it's a third-party company. They get all of our energy utility invoices, because remember, we have maybe 85 utility companies we work with across our company. All those electricity, natural gas invoices, they are now going to this company called ProKarma. They pay the bill, and they capture all of the data. And it was very important because they're entering all this data into one large database that's now accessible to not only me, to pretty much almost anybody in the company that needs access to energy data. And if you're on the phone right now and you think, hey, I need energy data, contact me and we can get you access, and you'll be able to look at this. We have many people that need the energy data: accounting people, environmental people. The data is super important to us, and now it's readily available, and it lets us see what's going on within the company. It's very easy, and I can train you how to use it, and it's a great tool that I'm so happy that we have now. There's also tools from Energy Star. There's something called Portfolio Manager. This is a system that uses energy tracking for commercial buildings and properties. We have what's called the Energy Performance Indicator, EPI. This is for specific facilities, and in our case, cement plants. There are other EPIs for very specific places like petrochemical properties, steel, automotive factories. Can't think of some other ones, but they're very specific because they're tuned and designed for specific industries. And ours is cement. Our 3 cement plants, we track the energy data within the EPI, and it's a tool to help us look at it. And thirdly, we are users of what's called the Energy Star Challenge for Industry, and the Challenge for Industry also has its own tool for tracking energy data. Here's the Portfolio Manager. It's right on the website energystar.gov. It's actually a web portal. It isn't a spreadsheet or it's standalone. It's this web portal tool. And when you log into it, and we have 2 buildings in this. We have the Glendora building, and we have and Steve Coppinger was mentioning the Crestmore facility where the lab, and then now we're going to be moving engineering and other people into that building. I've already you have to create basically an account for them, and then enter the energy data into the process, and then it gives you a score. It's a little bit shameful for us, an Energy Star company, that our score is a 34 out of 100 at Glendora, but it's what it is. It's an older building with some poor energy aspects to it. We don't have enough data yet on the Crestmore building to have a score yet, because it's just past a year of service, and so we'll be looking to see how that is. And now that we're going to be populating it more, it kind of changes the parameters for the building that I have to modify. But Portfolio Manager is a pretty good tool. What you would see is, I'm going to move ahead just a little bit I want to show you a graphic, because once again, here it is. Once again, this is supposed to be at the IEEE conference, and in Portfolio Manager, if you get above a 75 out of 100 score, you then can become a certified building. And if you're ever walking around and entering a building and it's got a large either bronze plaque, or maybe it's got the sticker on the window that says it's Energy Star certified, that's what happens. They enter their data in Portfolio Manager. They have to be an Energy Star partner. They enter the data. If their building meets the parameters, Energy Star will say, "Hey, you're an Energy Star certified building." And I think it's a great tool for identifying properties. I'm gonna go back. I know it's probably, let's see here. Okay, here's the Energy Performance Indicator. It's just a spreadsheet that's got a lot of data, a macro behind it, that's looking at energy data from the cement plant, and then you add the production data, and then they're comparing all our cement plants to the rest of the cement plants in the country, excuse me. And once again, a score of 75 means that you've met certification, and you could be identified as a certified Energy Star plant. The Rito cement plant is currently an Energy Star certified plant. Both Mojave and Oil Grant have been certified in the past. Just last year in 2019, a new tool came out with new data. And what happens is, as newer plants are built, it pushes the bar higher. And those 2 plants are just outside of the bar. So we're working hard to see if we can get them back in certified. The Energy Star Challenge, this is just a screenshot of, basically in SharePoint, we have probably about 20 spreadsheets now, because they are identifying plants throughout the company. And this is once again a screenshot of the spreadsheet itself. Is you list the properties in the spreadsheet, and then you have to enter the data for all the plants, energy and production data. And from that energy and production data, it gets us a statement of energy improvement, which shows us the status of that plant. So remember, where we at right now, we're still in the assessment, right? So all these tools, they kind of follow along in the guidelines, because this is the assessment part, the energy part, and then but the same tool is to create an action plan and implement action plan, and then eventually recognize achievements, trying to achieve certain certifications or benchmarking. So here we are. Now we've got we've assessed ourselves. We want to establish baselines. We're looking at our properties, comparing plants to plant. One ready-mix plant in LA, comparing it to the plant in Seattle, the Duwamish plant versus the Range Road plant, and trying to identify what our metrics are supposed to be. We typically monitor energy per ton or energy per yard. That's the obvious metric for us, and having this data, visible to us so that we can see how these plants are performing. So those same tools that were part of the assessment are now part of this benchmarking and tracking, and that's all this slide is talking about, is how we use those Energy Star tools to help us out and keep us focused on that data. The EPI tool, here's just a repeat. It's a 0 to 100 score, and right there it tells us if you're 0 to 25, that means maybe you should invest in your energy program there. 25 to 50, you should be investing in tuning up your process. 50 to 75, more tuning, trying to get better and better energy efficiency. And above that 75, reward and learn and try to keep improving your score. Because remember, 75 is when we can be a certified plant. And here's another look at that portfolio manager. Once again, the same, the score, and because we're now at that benchmarking level with these plants. And there's that slide I moved forward of all. These are the plants that were in that plant. So these are commercial properties in the Las Vegas area that I wanted to display at that IEEE conference. But you can go online and you could find anywhere around the country, put in a zip code and it'll give you a display of commercial properties. The same goes for our cement plants. If you go to EnergyStar.gov, and you can find all the cement plants that are Energy Star certified, and you would find our plants in there, including which year they got certified. Our Colton cement plant was certified many years ago, obviously, before it was shut down. So now that we're at this, benchmarking, we're analyzing our data. I'm using ProKarma constantly. I don't think I go a day without getting on ProKarma for some reason or another, downloading data, looking at it, and determining, questions come through all the time, and we're looking at that data, looking for trends, looking for highs, looking for lows, finding out why we have a high or low energy position, and comparing these facilities against each other. This data now, I look at the regional cost, and it's very interesting to kind of compare across our company. And in this slide right here, the Central California operations have the highest cost per megawatt hour. This is shown in dollars per megawatt hour, but it can be the same as dollars per kilowatt hour. But essentially, Central California is Pacific Gas and Electric, and that is our highest cost utility. Ironic that it's also the company that's bankrupt right now, and what this means to me is when we focus on energy efficiency in this area, it has a very high return on the investment because of those high costs. We look at this data, we're trying to find these outliers, trying to find areas, and then we want to conduct technical assessments, surveys, trying to do compressed air surveys, using utilities to come in, and they can look at things and help us. Utilities have a lot of program. The Pacific Gas Electric, Silicon Valley Edison, all of the Washington utilities, Oregon utilities. Oregon has the Oregon Energy Trust, very good energy efficiency programs that will provide assistance and give us tools for identifying energy efficiency savings. And Energy Star has taught us about the Energy Star Treasure Hunt. The Energy Star Treasure Hunt is this methodology of basically doing an internal audit, but giving it a softer name, calling it a treasure hunt. And you're going through a plant and looking for identifying energy efficiency and improvements. The Energy Star Treasure Hunt Guide, sort of similar to this Guidelines for Energy Management, is a document created by Energy Star, and it's a great document that kind of walks you through how to conduct a treasure hunt, how to perform this Energy Star treasure hunt. And what I really enjoy about this picture is this is actually our concrete products plant in Ontario, California. That is my boss right there. This is us, Calportland. We're performing a treasure hunt at that plant, and I believe I was behind the camera lens actually taking that picture. But within this treasure hunt guide, Calportland is recognized multiple times because we were part of creating this treasure hunt guide. I'm really proud of our involvement in creating that guide, and it's a good tool, and I'm glad that it's being used by other people in the country with our name. Last year in 2019, Energy Star, they kind of wanted to reinvigorate the treasure hunts, and so they started a campaign where when you performed a treasure hunt, and I performed 2 at the end of the year in the very, very beginning of January within their timeline, and we performed the treasure hunts, and then we logged in all of our potential finds, all of our opportunities, and then people across the country logged in and did it as well, and it helped kind of create this database of millions of dollars in savings potential just by using this treasure hunt technique. And this year in 2020, they're going to continue the campaign, and I'm going to be performing treasure hunts so that we can, for ourselves, identify things, and then also we're going to be entering all our information. We did a treasure hunt at the Duwamish ready mix plant and at the Stockton cement terminal. And part of this process of the 7 steps, remember that last step is recognize achievements. And Energy Star, they gave us some certificates recognizing our achievement of being an Energy Star treasure hunt application company, I suppose you'd call it. But they want us to share with that, and we're gonna try to, after all this bizarre world that's happening right now, we're going to be getting out there and trying to get to those plants and recognizing them for helping out with the treasure hunts. Also, but I think I said earlier, I'm going to be giving a treasure hunt webinar in a couple weeks. So we're at the point of setting goals. We determine where our program is going to go. We got our energy data. We've assessed ourselves. We want to communicate to the company, and we want to make sure that we've got a direction for us. So all the cement plants, they have goals and marks saying what they expect their different processes, the quarry, the raw mill, the kiln line. They have benchmarks in there to say if they're above or below their energy targets. And during our process energy meetings, we evaluate each area and try to put a hard eye and a hard visibility look on it to see where they are, how they're performing. A goal can be not just this data-centric methodology, but it can be a goal of the Energy Cup. The Energy Cup is a cement plant award that's given to the plant that earns the energy management title for the cement plants. So 3 cement plants, we go through a matrix and look at all the different things they're doing for the energy management aspect and award them with this Energy Cup. The goal for the plant should be wanting to get it. The goal for the corporation is we want to be Energy Star Partner of the Year award winners, and all the work we do all year long is with the goal at the end of the year applying for and achieving that Energy Star Partner of the Year award. Another goal that we set for ourselves was the Department of Energy. We don't talk about the Department of Energy as much as Energy Star, but they have a Better Plants program that we also are involved in, and we signed up and we set a goal of improving our energy intensity by 25% within 10 years. I was pretty scared of this. It was a very, very bold, goal that we went after, and it was just achieved last year, 2019. We just achieved it, and one of the really big helps for us was when Colton facility was retired and Oro Grande came online, a much more efficient plant, and it really, really helped us get to that goal. And way back when we first signed up, we kind of made this statement that I had no idea that it would happen. I said we have to have another plant, and it actually happened. It was But having a goal and striving to achieve it is a big thing. And to get the recognition from Department of Energy was great. Our action plan, we've got an action plan. We evaluate our assessments, we look at our audits, we create projects from those audits, we track the projects, we look for those energy savings, record the savings when we're done. There's a multitude of things that we're doing to try to make sure that action plan is in place. We have energy managers. We have, and as an energy management group, we're linking with about every different part of the company that's out there, and this just kind of shows, energy management and who we are touching, who we are in contact with, and it's just about every different part of the company, and having communications with them in both directions, and it's important part of our actions. External roles. We have contractors. We use a lot of contractors. We use our utilities, like I said before. All these people are part of our action of getting energy management in the forefront and getting work done. Trying to keep my eye on the clock, Steve. And we communicate. We raise awareness. We provide training. We try to motivate employees, track and monitor. We want to communicate to leadership, we want to communicate to the plants, and we want to communicate to the operational personnel. My job is to communicate, talk, present. We do a lot of presentations, obviously, the corporate summit, all the corporate summits that we've had recently, I've been given the opportunity to talk and communicate the energy program. It's super important to share that message. That's why I promote Yammer a lot, because I'm just trying to get all the different methods of communicating energy and energy management is super important to the program to keep it, in the forefront of our thoughts. Sharing energy management with the plant managers, the data, all the tracking tools that we have, the industrial challenge plants. We're at about 35 plants. My intern, we're trying to work on that spreadsheet, the industrial challenge, to create a simpler method of sharing that, and it's going to be coming up very soon. We're just about there to have a system. And the treasure hunt's a great way. I love treasure hunts. I love being face to face at the plants and talking with them. It's a great way to communicate. We try to, this is kind of there's a combination here of communicating and then at the end recognizing achievements, trying to recognize people and plants for their achievements. That this is all part of the implement, evaluate progress, and then recognize achievements. So we try to make sure people are recognized and plants are recognized for their hard work that they're doing. Communicating. I keep talking about it because it's important. We use social media a lot because we're also communicating outside of our company to share, all of our Energy Star accolades, Department of Energy accolades, and we're trying to do posters and Energy Star posters within our operations. Raise awareness, build support. There's so many slides with this because it's so important. It's super important to have the communications, the training, and that's those site visits that I try to get out there as much as I can. This was something, social media, with Energy Star, they want us to be sharing as well. And I just wanted to, I think about it. I mentioned Twitter a lot. I'm on Twitter, plus the company's on Twitter. We try to share our best practices with other companies so that they know what we're doing, and it helps us internally create more communications with our employees as well as with the Yammer. Sessions like this, talking to you and broadcasting the energy practices, is how I'm trying to communicate with you. It's part of our action plan. And then that action, we talked about the data, assessing it, but now in the middle of the action, we're looking at that energy data from ProKarma. You're looking at the plant data from ProKarma, evaluating it, see how the plant's performing, looking for those trends now. Looking at the plant processes from the cement plants, how much is that kiln using for fuel? How much is the electricity is in the process? This is all part of that action plan. And then now we're finally rotating around the bottom of that chart. We're evaluating our progress, seeing what we're achieving, and then recognizing achievement. The industrial challenge, we have achievements in the challenge for industry. This one in particular is the Swan Ready Mix plant. That's a letter signed by Gene Lupinacci from the Energy Star program. The other one is the Energy Star certified facility. That's the one that Rito achieved for the Rito cement plant. These achievements then are broadcast. We have press releases. We broadcast it on our social media. We broadcast it internally. We will have plant events to talk about it, recognizing it so that you recognize the hard work. Recognize people and employees. When we're implementing and performing energy management program work, you want to make sure you recognize them. The energy cut. So, back at the beginning, we were assessing and setting goals. The Mojave Cement Plant, they are the most recent Energy Cup winner, and we want motivation so that there's the 3 plants are working next year towards that goal. And I know personally that the Rito Cement Plant is working extremely hard. They have started to have weekly energy meetings, and they have been super focused. They're communicating with me, and they are doing some great work because they really, really want to get to this Energy Cup. And they're the one cement plant that has not achieved it, and they really want to get there. And I'm really excited to see how much work they've been doing recently. John Davey, I recognize him. He started a lot of this work last year at Rito. He was doing a whole bunch of work at the plant. He was bringing them up in their energy management program, and I made sure I recognized him at the corporate summit, and I really appreciated the work he did. Super important. And for us, what does that mean as a company? Recognizing us. So 15 consecutive Energy Star awards, and guess what? 16. And 16 years in a row, we are the Energy Star Award winner for 2020. We were supposed to be there next week. We were supposed to be at the Energy Star Awards next Thursday, but obviously that got canceled for as far as the physical meeting, but we still are going to win the award. There actually is going to be a press release on this on Monday, and the company will be doing a press release. If you're on social media, Facebook or Twitter, please follow us, and then share it so that we can increase the awareness of our program. So I'm going to finish up, and I'm amazed that I got through all those slides. There's a lot of them, and if there's questions, I think that, Dave, are you the one that's going to be tabulating those or asking them? Or
Yeah, I can, Bill. So far, I have just a couple